Looking good.
We had a difficulty guarding them in the first half. I mean, we had a size advantage at some points, but it was hard to keep those matchups because we just we've got guys trying to guard. We got 6'2" guys trying to guard 5'5" guys. So it wasn't the easiest thing in the world. And offensively, we looked sluggish. I mean, I guess that was to be expected a little bit. But we didn't get started really till the third quarter when we came out and played better. And Seton Hall really played inspired basketball that first half. They moved the ball. They moved without the ball. They took advantage of some mistakes that we made. And, they're certainly not an easy team to play against. But we eventually found their footing. And they're not always going to be pretty, Some are going to be a little more difficult than others, as they should be. I mean, playing conference games, they're not all going to be easy.
Avoweda Westbrook seemed to get back to herself after not scoring against South Carolina. Is that what you saw from her?
Yeah. When Avena's going to the basket and she's being aggressive and, making the defense have to respect her drives, she really opens up a lot of things for us. There's a lot of pressure on our guards to make a lot of shots, and he's one that's not going to, fortunately, is not going to just settle for jump shots. And she's one of the players that can get into the lane fairly easily, and I like exactly how she played today.
Kristen Williams did not get on the board tonight. Was there anything that you picked up on regarding her play and why that might be?
No, I mean, I wish I could give you something. She's just going through a really bad stretch right now. She's not a very confident shooter right now, a very confident offensive player. So hopefully, it's a phase, and then we'll snap out of it.
Thanks, Coach.
Pat, Ian, Rob.
Coach, obviously, you can attribute a slow start to the hangover from South Carolina, but you've had several slow starts this season. How big a concern is it, and what do you do about them?
Well, I think in the huddle before every game, I should say, listen, today we're going to get off to a fast start. And I think that'll solve it. But I don't know that there's really a solution for our slow starts. If we're not, if we're not clicking on offense, we have a hard time spreading the defense out. Maybe when Anna comes back, there's another 3-point shooter out on the floor. I don't know. But yeah.
How close is Anna to coming back?
Not sure. seems to be getting closer, but I don't see her, what's today? Wednesday. I don't see her playing anytime this week or next week, to be honest with you, since she hasn't done any on-the-court workouts with us up to this point.
Thank you.
Doug Bonjour.
You mentioned Olivia a little bit, but the third quarter there, she had 9 points. Kind of what when you were making your run, I think she got some easy baskets there. How key was she? Just kind of jump starting you guys on the offensive end tonight.
We don't, when you can either win a bunch of different ways. You can shoot exceptionally well from the perimeter, or you can rebound the ball really well offensively. It'd be great if you can do both. Some nights you can't. That's what you're going to get. From Aaliyah. She's going to offensive rebound. And she's going to either come up with it, get a piece of it, but something's going to happen really good when she goes inside there. And she's getting better and better and more patient. And I just, I just think that she's been exceptionally well. I mean, she, in her 20 minutes every night, I like to get her more minutes. And I'm sure, like she did the other night, she'll make the most of them.
I was asking about Olivia, but I mean, Aaliyah too obviously played well. Just
the thing about Liv is she had a double-double in the second half, and to me, that's a great sign. In the first half, what we're doing is we're seeing that nobody wants to guard Liv 15 feet from the basket. So it's not been easy to try to get her shots inside the lane. So we're going to have to figure out a way to do that. But I thought she played great in the second half. I thought she was great in the second half. She actually got active on the offensive boards. I think all 5 of her offensive rebounds were probably in the second half.
Carl?
Geno, are you concerned about Kristen's effort or work ethic, or is this just a matter of she had a couple bad games in a row?
I mean, people play bad, and sometimes you just go through stuff like that. It's what's concerning is that, it's one thing the ball's not going in the basket, but not a lot of other stuff is happening either. So, I don't know whether the shooting part is affecting the rest of her game. So I don't know what you do about that.
Charlotte?
Hey, Geno, just to follow up on that third quarter when Liv started getting hot and then the offense just seemed to flow a little better. Was that a product of Liv being more productive, or what kind of clicked for that to flow better?
We change sides of the floor more often. Paige Becker's got involved more in our offense, so that obviously got more people involved. And when we move, Liv ends up with opportunities. When we stand still, she doesn't. And our movement was so much better in the third and fourth quarter, and that was a big reason why Liv was more involved in our offense.
Vicky?
Hey, Geno, can you talk about this turnaround every other day game? You said the other day it's almost like an NBA schedule. like you didn't get to do much yesterday. You said just a walk through. Is it hard coming out today and playing again?
Yeah, it is. It is. Especially when, the games that you're playing are not necessarily non-physical, easy games, and the schedule's the schedule. It is what it is. You wish it wasn't. You wish you had, back when we weren't playing any games, we said, well, I don't care if we play 3 or 4 games a week. Now we're playing 3 or 4 games a week and everybody hates it. So you just got to deal with what's there right now. And we're playing again on Friday. And then we go next Wednesday and Friday, or, Wednesday, Saturday again. And then Tuesday, something like that, So it's never ending. I don't think we have another home game till March 1st. So it's crazy, right? Today's February 10th. Okay. And we don't have another home game till March 1st. So it's just is what it is. Not easy, but every team's dealing with some form of it.
Alexa?
Hi, Geno. Another question on Kristen. If you mentioned her confidence just being really shot, is there anything as a coaching staff in that kind of situation that can be done to try and get her confidence in a better place? Or is it really just something that she's going to have to work on to get going on her own end?
Well, most good players go through periods like this where you just can't, you can't feel like you can get anything going. And it doesn't matter in any sport. And all you can do is keep giving yourself opportunities. And the more opportunities you give yourself, the more times you put yourself in those situations, then the more, the more the chances are that you're going to, get back on track. But right now, it's a real struggle for Kristen.
Laura?
Hey, Geno. I just wondering if you look back at all the players you've coached, and I know this season is not like a normal season, and I know the players that you've coached played under different circumstances, but can you rank where Paige rates among the freshmen that you've had at UConn?
I think it's a difficult thing to do right now at this stage because if you think back to a lot of the freshmen that we've had that you would be wanting to compare her to, the cast that they were around was quite different than the cast that she's around. So you almost can say it's more comparable to Diana's junior year. When you got 2 other freshmen, you got Diana as a junior, you got 2 freshmen in the starting lineup, and then you got Jessica Moore and Ashley Battle or Maria Conlon, in the starting lineup. So that's the closest that I can think of. Most of the other time when those freshmen came in, they had it pretty easy. They have, like when Maya got here and we have Renee and Tina and those guys and, Steph got here and we had Maya and, a pretty good group, and Stewie got here and we certainly had a great group, already here. Dee got here. We had an amazing group already here. When Shay got here, we had a great group. So most of the iconic freshmen that we've had come in here have been surrounded by, kids that had already been All-Americans by the time those freshmen walked on campus. This is more like, I think, Dee's junior year.
Geno, Renee Montgomery announced her retirement yesterday. Can you talk about, what she means to you and the things she accomplished, both here and at the WNBA level? And second question is, I was wondering if Morgan Valley had reached out to you in the last few days since Hartford announced that they were canceling the rest of their season.
Question number 2. When I walked in my house last night, my wife was on the phone and I didn't know who it was. I tried to pick up pieces of the conversation and then turned out that it was Morgan. And they were discussing that, the season was being discontinued. So I haven't had a chance to directly talk with her yet, but I will at some point. So there must have been a lot going on for that to happen. Whenever a school decides at this stage, you've gone this far, like, hey, let's not play anymore. Something's not quite right. Somebody's not doing what they're supposed to be doing in some way or shape or form. As far as question number 1, I talked to Renee this morning, and one of the things that she talked about was how coming to Connecticut really changed her life, because it put her on a stage, gave her a platform to jump off of and go to the WNBA and then, win WNBA championships, which then gave her another platform, which was even higher, to now do what she's doing. And I admire her a lot. Renee's been Renee. She hasn't changed much since her freshman year. She owns the room every time she walks in, and she owns all of it, not some of it. And I know that the league is going to miss her, but what's interesting? When you take a lot of time off away from something that you love, that you spent your whole life doing, you start to realize there's a lot more to life than that. And I found that to be true with a lot of people that take some time off and they never go back. And I think Renee found something that's maybe more challenging, more rewarding, more compelling right now for what her life is than basketball. And she's young enough that she can devote a lot of time and energy to it. So I'm really proud of her and what she's doing and how she's going about it. And I'll always remember her as a legendary player here. Anybody that ever played with Renee Montgomery, you don't forget. You don't forget Renee Montgomery.
I know you were busy this afternoon, but did you notice that a few of your players got traded around the WNBA? Katie Lou to Seattle, and then Kia Nurse and Megan Walker to Phoenix, amongst others. I don't know if any of it was anyone else.
Somebody mentioned it briefly when I was walking. When I was going out to get my vaccine. And maybe I shouldn't have got a vaccine today. I came back and whatever I had in me, I gave it to the team, I think. But so I briefly heard what you just said about, Lou going to Seattle. And I didn't know about the Kia Nurse, Megan Walker thing until after. But it seems to be like more and more of these things are happening, where for the longest time, you know, free agents didn't move very much, big trades didn't happen very much. And now, you know, you've got an awful lot of these things happening on a regular basis. Hey, anytime you get traded to a championship team, that's not a bad deal, right? And anytime you get traded to a team that has Diana Taurasi on it, that's not a bad deal either. As long as you play your ass off.
And Seattle thought she was worth it. They gave up the #1 pick for her, the overall pick.
Seattle gave up the #1 overall pick for Lou?
Yep.
Interesting. Very interesting.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Any other questions for Coach? Charlotte, go ahead.
Just to follow up, you got your COVID vaccine today, I'm assuming that's what the vaccine was?
The vaccine today?
Yeah.
It was so that I wouldn't get sick from the missed shots. So I went and got a shot. I just wanted to see if somebody could make a shot. And the nurse was great, stuck the needle in me, swish. That was the first swish I've seen in a long time other than Paige. So I feel 100% better. But yeah, no, it's my turn. Come on. I'm going to be 67 next month, and it's my turn. I waited in line. I got the call. Brought me up to the big leagues. Leaving Reading, AAA, Pawtucket. Went to the big leagues today. It's pretty good, too, for anybody out there that's wondering what the heck's going on. You know, you drive up, you're there 5 minutes, boom. You have to sit down and wait 15 minutes. They want to keep an eye on you. You know, they say it's an observation period. And make sure you leave with the same number of fingers and stuff that you had when you first walked in.